And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Solar Expanse, as we continue in the Fusion Age here and work on terraforming and getting beyond the solar system. So in the last one, I may have made a mistake by having Paris transition to the Jupiter orbit, which is apparently a very long transit with the asteroid engines here. So we've basically tied up a large chunk of our asteroid engines for a little while. When that's done, I'll probably be a little bit faster trying to move them places that are not, you know, Jupiter, which will get us a little bit more efficient in the meantime. So we've got these guys going out. We've got one of these guys going out to retrieve helium. Titan orbit to Mars, so that is more nitrogen to release. Is that cyclical still continuing? It is. Presumably. Yeah, I can release a chunk of this carbon dioxide, because we don't need it as much anymore. Or we're not processing as much as anymore. Release that as well for the lower pressure. It gets us back to 0.07. Nope, 0.08. We're gonna give it 0.1 here to finish up Mars' early atmosphere. Okay, the transit to Jupiter is done. We automatically have it set up for the return trip, so they're already planning the return trip. I suppose I could orbit. Let's take a moment to orbit the alloys so that we can get it to Jupiter for building more gas extraction. I want to get close to orbit. I will have ships swim by to transport it. Need to wait 3 days. Should be enough time. The orbit have what we want? Yes. So Prometheus, Callisto, Jupiter, orbit, Prometheus. Set this up as a cyclical mission. Alloy. Resource transferred to say 80. I think there's 90 there, but we'll round down. Anyway, getting those alloys there should rapidly allow us to build more gas extractors. And more gas extractors. Most notably means more nitrogen. We're making 1.5 tons a day. We're going to want even more. I've seen some recommendations to go up like 2,000 at Jupiter for terraforming Mars. It'd probably be a little bit faster, but I want to work on the interstellar ship construction a little bit more aggressively. Is that more time-sensitive of the two time-based quests? Is this one needs to be done by 2400, the other one needs to be 2600. Okay, we got those two queued up. And then I can think about, well, we need alloys. We technically have alloys enough for the drive assembly. We're missing there is the exotics. Probably use the alloys instead on the habitat segments. And I need to bring more polymers in. The habitat segments mostly glass and silica. Glass can be launched from Mercury. Both can be launched from both Mercury and the Moon. I actually have more on Mercury. So maybe you want to do it from Mercury, at least a whole load from Mercury. Um, 7.2 and 9. So 9 times 8 is 72 kilotons. Or, yeah, 72 kilotons. And it'll be less for the glass. Approximately 20% less for the glass. Okay. Nope, not constant acceleration. Optimal impulse. Go. Orbital gas extractor at Jupiter. No, we can drag some silicon and glass in from Mars as well. Mercury arrived at the interstellar structure. Okay. Then we'll return those to Mercury. And then we can even plan the return trip back to the interstellar construction site. We grabbed glass in the first run. Let's grab silicon on the second. It is building one at a time. Could potentially push more orbital construction yards here to build multiple parts. Mars arrived at Titan orbit. Okay, so once again at Titan, we are ready for orbiting the nitrogen. Transfer 24,000 to orbit. We might have to actually get more aggressive at making oxygen on Mars. Oxygen ratio is getting a little low. Got our first drive assembly complete. Okay, we've lifted our stuff off of Titan. So, Zeus to Mars. Loaded up with not hydrogen, but nitrogen. And then the return trip for Mars. Actually going to Mars. So it's going to be Mars to Titan orbit. Leave the nitrogen behind. There we go. And yeah, I don't actually have the nitrogen for the next trip, so if it gets back, it might actually have to sit around for a while. Or I have to bring something else down instead, which could be done pretty easily. Could drag some water down, for example, doing a water run. Saturn only has tons of nitrogen, okay. We've got 3 kilotons there, which isn't a lot. You know, we'll set this up as a cycle mission. So Zeus to Mars. So Jupiter, orbit to Mars. Plan is a cyclical mission. Zeus, whenever there is a wait until there's a full load of nitrogen. And yeah, never stop, keep going. Mercury has arrived at the interstellar ship construction site. So that means I have stuff in situ for the habitat segment. 1 habitat segment queued up. I'm now limited by alloys and polymers from doing more. Earth orbit has a little bit more alloys and a little bit more polymer. Yeah, a little bit more alloys, a little bit more polymer. We're going to the interstellar shipyard, because we want these dropped off. At least whatever we can. Load what polymer we got, what alloys we got. Anyway, we got a lot of metal up here, so I might want to actually shuffle that metal off to the moon at some point. The game's confusing itself. Tell me optimal transfer capacity is 0. It's wrong with that. Very wrong with that. Optimal transfer capacity is whatever can fit in the ship, because we can pick up fuel where we're going. Yep, I think we just transfer those, that'll work. You see? It's wrong. It's like, oh, you're not going to be able to optimally do this. I can. Here we go. As I said, there we go. Still, the thing holding us up is polymers. I need polymers and alloys. We'll send the Zeus to Mars. I think I have more at Mars. Nope, not in orbit. Earth interstellar construction site. Oh, and this is now the return trip. So for the return trip, we want to pick up polymers, we want to pick up alloys. I think I want to pick up glass. No, we'll pick up silicon. Because I get glass easier off of... I got more glass on Mercury after all. Let's grab a bunch of silicon. You're trying to get a whole orbit. Optimal transfer return. Did it not take my polymer load, or my alloy load? It's not the end of the world if it didn't. Pretty sure I put some on the load. It might have put 0 in for the load for some reason. Yeah, put 0 in for some reason. I can work with it, it's not a problem. And yeah, now we're waiting for stuff, I suppose, to get there, because we were able to get through those parts relatively quickly. Anyway, I'm still waiting for that asteroid to arrive at destination. And I suppose on Luna, we're trying to build these out as polymers arrive or are produced. They are being produced a little bit in situ. Oh, I suppose I could build more in situ. We've got a carbon supply now. Not a carbon supply now. Okay, I'm going to take the carbon lifespan down to 100 years. So I might be doubling the carbon. Look at me. Some CO2 splitting here as well. I guess it's rounding up to 2. Because we got some efficiency improvements on mining. Let's assume that that is, in fact, what's going on. Yeah, it's rounding up to... Oh, actually, a little over 2. Okay, so I'm going to assume I've got 3.3 tons of carbon production. Turn that 0.3 into polymers. That should be enough to support 6 polymer assemblies. There we go. An orbit arrived at Mars. We've already got that set up to go back. So we can release the nitrogen and release the oxygen. Oh, and I actually have a bunch of silicon in Mars orbit that I should probably get to the interstellar site. That would be a good use for it. So we're being held up by alloys, we're being held up by polymers, being held up by exotics. Being held up by shipping, I suppose, the glass and the silica, but not really being held up on those. Oh, I'm about to run out of water. That's a concern on Mercury. Get that to orbit. I'm not going to use the Atlas. Happens to be currently in orbit. To move the water, and we'll move the carbon as well. I don't need to move... Actually, not moving the carbon, because I need the carbon, I suppose, for the ship. The water and move a couple thousand tons of supplies. The important thing is to get the water here, so we have water to make supplies with. There we go. So now the water's not going to run out. Supplies aren't going to run out. We're making more water. Oh, my carbon deposits run out. Both my carbon and my CO2 deposits are out. Okay. I'll need to get some CO2 in. Let's use the Atlas again. Just to pluck 10 kilotons of CO2 up from Venus. Here we go. That should get the carbon production running again. Now that we were going to go through 5.8 kilotons of carbon anytime soon. But I suppose in a way that gets us making oxygen as well. Mars arrived at the Earth interstellar ship construction site. Which, because I screwed up, did not supply... Oh no, it did supply. We've got alloys. Oh no, the alloys came from Mercury, though. So I don't have enough polymers. Polymers are the thing we're held up on. That's even after shipping in the polymers from Mars. That is a shame. It's a definite shame. So we'll send the Rains back to go get more glass. Although I don't actually need that much more glass, right? I only need 7 times 7, so actually most of the glass is delivered already. Yeah, I only need 50.4 tons of glass. I've got most of the glass deployed already. It's just enough. Yeah, the Rains want to go back to Mercury. Oops, not impulse. Optimal. Infield to get there. Zeus. To Mars. Orbit. Don't want you on constant acceleration. Optimal. There. And the return trip. Mars orbit. To Earth Interstellar Construction Site. Some silicon, bring it back. And that's probably more silicon than I need. For the habitation modules. Mercury over to Venus. Okay. Get another asteroid engine under construction. So I'm definitely appreciating the faster polymers. We're getting almost a half a ton on the moon in a day. Interstellar Earth construction thing arrived at Mercury, so that's the Rains that have returned. Do I do a mix? I'm going to do a mix shipment. Get them heading right back. It'll be mixed as a side effect. With products, because I don't need any one product, or either don't need any one product at the max that I can carry, or I don't have it, right? So we don't have enough exotic alloys, don't have enough alloys. Why are you only wanting to ship that amount? And then bring a little bit of glass along. In fact, that's more than we need for glass. We make no polymers here, so I don't want to ship polymers from here. Okay. You know, that won't be anywhere near enough for the drive assembly. That'll be a tenth of what we need for the last drive assembly. For the exotics. Okay, Mercury arrived. So we got a tenth of what we need for the exotics. We've got the chips here, we got the rares here, we got the gas here. Currently have the alloys here. I've got all the glass I need. I don't have all the silicon I need. But I think we even have more. But we got another one coming in, right? We got another load coming in. That might actually be enough silicon. So yeah, we're really just waiting on alloys and polymers and the exotics to build these. Food shouldn't be that hard, especially if we can get the asteroids moved around. Even the water and the carbon shouldn't be that hard because the asteroids will be bringing those in where they prepare the habitats. Loading the people won't be that hard because we're in Earth orbit after all. Now, one of my better alloy sites is Mercury, so that's fine. I'm thinking about Mercury. I'm still dealing with the radiation on Mercury, right? Yeah. Let's queue a few of those up. Need to give it a little more time. That third one. Yeah, 1.1 ton on Mars. I could ship that. Suppose I ship that. At least because it's construction going. Why are you not doing the whole amount? Maybe because I was thinking it's going to ride the Pelican instead of the Tetraton. Yeah, I still have that cycle of mission dragging CO2 to Mars. Just talking about that, I can go and release another 100 kilotons of CO2. .08 atmospheres. Thank you, man. We got back to Titan, right? Yeah, we're back at 10, but the CO2 or the nitrogen hasn't piled up enough. So I wouldn't be able to do a full flight worth. I could have the Cronus launch for water. Take a flight of water back. Let's do that. So Kronos, Tight. As a second call. Chronos. Pick nothing up from orbit. Pick from Titan up. Water. Resources transferred. That amount. We are coming up on Paris being delivered. December 15th. There we go. It's been delivered. So, we got a bunch of water in our rope. Not a good way to. Well, we can use the. We could use the Chronos to get it off, I suppose. That's how I'd probably get it up. Okay. It's too many objects in that system. Okay. I want you. Okay, so it's definitely time to disassemble things we can't take with us. So you're getting disassembled. You're not takeable, so we can disassemble you. Now, do I want to move these guys to a different body, or... I kind of do want to move these guys to a different body. Is there any water carbon locations in Neptune? No. So if I'm colonizing Neptune, I just have to sort of accept we're short something. And I don't think that's a good thing to do right now. Okay. And other than the memes of putting more on Saturn and... or putting more on Saturn, Neptune, or Saturn, Uranus. Yeah, so I don't need those guys. Definitely don't need them on Paris, because I'm about to crash Paris. So I need to unload them. I think we'll just unload them straight on to Callisto. Paris to Callisto. Zeus. Your job. Load everything that can be moved. For a drop. Leave a little. Actually, we'll leave like 3 tons here. That way, if they sit around for a little while, they're not starving. Supplies will run out in Paris. Yes. That's fine. They're supposed to be leaving Paris. It's not supposed to be anyone left on Paris. They're supposed to all be on Callisto. Thank you. Okay, so at this point, Paris is empty. Give or take the hydrogen. I'm not too worried about the hydrogen. So it's transit time. Paris, you are to make your fateful encounter with Callisto. Paris, Callisto. Boom. Paris is gone. Callisto gains a carbon deposit. And 30 mercury. Not that it needed 30 mercury. So to keep the carbon deposit stable, I think it just needs exactly 1 carbon mine. We weren't even mining water in Callisto, were I? Was I? We just brought in the mining module, which is now... Yeah, we weren't even mining water. It had water. I wasn't mining it. Oh, well. Wait. Go a couple days. Out to Callisto. Yeah, okay. Didn't I just give it more mines? No, I took the mines off of it. Never gave it any never gave it any person mines. Okay. Should have actually done that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should make it water balanced. And the auto mines are actually mining the carbon fast enough. I may want to take the auto mines off later. So we're going to carbon mine it. Okay, in the meantime, Callisto orbit, we've got 24 engines. Aeneas, we're going to take you in. You require 24 engines. Callisto orbit to Aeneas. Zeus, please take 24 engines. Okay, we're gonna have to do a layover of Jupiter, because I need more fuel, and Jupiter has more fuel. Cargo will go to next destination, that's what we want. We're only dropping by Jupiter to pick up some hydrogen. Constant acceleration, optimal departure time. We need 700 tons of fuel. So 1,300 tons. We have enough to do the maneuver after you drop the stuff off. Okay, so it's gonna wait until November, and then it probably flies pretty quick. All things considered. That line sort of going the wrong direction on the spin of the orbital. It's getting to Aeneas. Yeah, we're just got the engine power. We can go where we want. That's the power fusion. There it goes. Okay, you've arrived at Aeneas. Now, Aeneas, I would like you to transit to... I suppose Earth is where we're going. Aeneas to Earth orbit. Two years is still a bit of a trip. We'll send it. Although, in comparison to the one we just did to Jupiter system, that's fast. I don't suppose I can buy any more polymer. Nope. Government ain't selling that. Good ship from Ganymede. because I don't need quite as much of that at the Jupiter orbit as I do the alloys. Mars arrived. Okay, so that was more polymers. Is that enough? That is enough for the next one. So we get one under Q. Yeah, I think everything is here except polymers for this one, and everything's here except the exotic alloys. And some alloys. Everything's going to be limited if I'm going fast enough by alloys, but at the moment I'm more being limited by the specialist polymers and the rares. Well, the rares won't hold me up forever. The rares are, we're making 1 ton a day. So it's 10,000 tons, plus what we've got, but it's 10,000 days. That's not too terrible. And the world government might be making more. I think they're making more, but whether or not they're going to put them on the market or not, it's a different problem. Yeah, I don't know what the threshold is for when they're putting on the market. You know, they'd probably be more willing to put things on the market if they had, power. Something, no fuel for the power plant. 26,000 people on Mars. Yeah, we got a few people on Mars. Yeah, I think I just need to let time pass. We're waiting for things to happen. They're happening. The big holdup is polymer, which means I need to get more carbon going. Oh, the alternative is I can fly something out from Ganymede. Pick up the 4K there. Although, how much do I need? I think 4K isn't a drop in the bucket. Oh, it is. It's one of the 8 we could get under construction if I go grab that. So, sure, we'll send a Zeus to retrieve that. Not Ganymede orbit. Well, we'll be basically launching from orbit, but it needs to pick up something from Ganymede. And we told the ship to go to Ganymede. Polymers, and we just push the button so we get a full whatever on the planet at the time. Pelican to orbit. Constant acceleration, optimal transit window. Return. Minimum thrust. Mines are offline until we crash another carbon asteroid into Mercury. In the meantime, I'm not making supplies fast enough from Mercury anymore. Nor are we making water fast enough, although it's hard because we're trying to pull out of the atmosphere. Dropped in a bunch of CO2, so there's an argument I can definitely crank up CO2 production to bias the deal with you, but water is going to be a bit more of an issue. When I push the water to orbit, yes, okay. I probably actually need that on Mercury more than I need that on Mars. Mercury back to Titan. Nope, leaving the water behind. Okay. In the meantime, we will probably want to boost the next thing. I do have the hydrogen here, so let's get nitrogen boosted the orbit. Need to do it cyclical because I need the Kronos to do the launching. Nitrogen. Boost me a Zeus load. And then down here I should be expanding supplies. So we'll build a agricultural hydroponics farm. And carbon production, which is CO2 electrolysis. Seven is providing... Okay, so I'm going to 0.03 each. Let's say. Yeah, that makes sense. So then I need to get that up to 12, so I need another 5 of these. Plus, to support the new farms, we'll do like 2 more. Private Academy. Okay, so we already planned the return trip from there. So it's actually the Titan going out, actually, to Mercury. So water should be here soon. Okay, carbon's trending up. Is food still downtrending? Food is still downtrending. Radiation is coming down. We're down 4.8. The temperature is going to be a little bit hard to fix because it's competing with exporting stuff to the interstellar ship. Okay, so we got the nitrogen boosted orbit. Let's boost the water as well. Mercury arrived at Titan orbit. So now that we got the nitrogen in orbit, I can get you to take nitrogen to Mars. And then immediately turn around and come back. So Mars. To Titan. Oops. Not Mars. Orbit Mars. So we're actually dropping something. Leave the nitrogen behind. Make the return trip. Optimal transit. There you go. Probably at the point where we can lift the alloy off of Callisto orbit. and then we can have the Prometheus got in Jupiter orbit go to Callisto. And as a cyclical mission, retrieve that alloy. So we can get more gas collectors going. Probably at the point where... Can I just turn these all on? Yeah, let's do some of these turn. Turn all these back on. Need more in Callisto orbit. Oh dear. I'll sort that right now, I suppose. So, Kronos to Callisto orbit. Drag a load of hydrogen over. And go full the full fuel tank, and then Callisto orbit back to Jupiter with basically an empty tank. I can't do that because it's not going to let me take what I've got in the fuel tank. Okay. Well, the outbound is working, the return is not working. Meantime here, I need to make more metal. So I need 1.92. Okay, so I need 99 mines. So I need another 30 metal mines. 33 metal mines. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 30 actually. So that's 30. I'll actually take it to 40. Assuming we have the power and we have the people, we want that to work. Okay, that allows us to make alloy a lot faster here. Okay, so now you can get back to Jupiter. Suppose if I wanted to go this faster, I could nick what I was using to build in Jupiter orbit. We got about 2 more HAB segments worth in Jupiter orbit of polymer. Might get us from 3 to 5. Sure, send it Zeus to go retrieve this. I just sent it the long way. Let's send one the proper, fast way. Constant acceleration, optimal. Earth Interstellar. That is a good question. Now I don't know which one's which. Oh, we're gonna wait until it gets there then. There goes the mining of Acacia. It's going. I could potentially have the crew mine more. have the crew mine a little bit more. Because I got a little bit more power here. Operate 6 more mines. I suppose we should actually start mining the silicon. Yeah, I should start mining the silicon. Moving a little bit faster. Metal mine's getting finished at Callisto. Venus. Venus over to Mars. Okay, so that's my CO2 transfer being done. Interstellar ship construction arrived at... Oh, that was the Jupiter return. Okay, so the first of the 2 reached Jupiter, so I can have it grab polymers and make the return trip. Although first, let's use what we need to get the orbital gas constructors going, and the rest can go. Here we go. I suppose I am still doing electrolysis here. Drinking the water and doing electrolysis. That's still worth doing, because that's where I'm getting my oxygen from, right? If I pull back on the oxygen joystick, we'll probably very rapidly run out of oxygen. Okay, let's get these exotics to Earth. And the alloys to fill the ship up. Yeah, the Arraigns are not going to do a constant acceleration to run with cargo. Okay, Venus, Mercury to Venus. Have you actually retrieve VO2. There we go. That goes in the ads. Did it arrive and I missed it? It arrived and I missed it. Whoops daisy. So, break the things that we aren't unloading, so we get the bits out of them. The rest I'm just going to dump on the moon for the moment. The moon just happens to coincidentally be right there. Crew to the moon. The mining equipment to the moon. Mobile hab, radioisotope generator, probe, all going to the moon. The electronics that we really don't need, a little bit of glass, the metal. rares, alloys. We'll take the carbon, and I'm actually not going to be able to take all the water. I'd rather take the supplies than the water. So we'll take the supplies. Whatever leftover space we'll take as water. Okay. And then I want to do a return trip from the moon at Zeus. I want you to leave all the things behind and just come back. Here we go. Okay. We'll let that happen. So as I run out of Aeneas, that's fine. Because they're leaving. Crucial component. They're leaving. Take the water to Earth orbit. And then Aeneas has naught but carbon. I think that's worth just crashing into the moon. Because the moon can make use of it to have carbon to keep... Well, I suppose the more carbon I crash into the moon, the more I can expand the polymer production. Yeah, that makes about sense. Apparently I need more water production. That doubled the water production. Where's my water mine? 7 water mines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he is. Please have a fateful rendezvous with Luna. Aeneas crashes into Luna, expanding the carbon deposit. And now the engines are in Luna orbit. So the next place we're going, Patroclus. Patroclus also needs 24 engines. It's also going to be just carbon, so we're just going to bring it to the Earth system. I could technically bring it to Mercury. Might actually be faster to bring it to Mercury. I'll bring it to Mercury then. Either way, the Zeus that's going to be doing the hauling needs to go to Luna orbit to pick up the engines. Here, I'm bringing way more fuel than I need, but that's fine. This works. Okay. Off it goes. Go pack up another one of our old research labs. I think this time we'll probably have to crash it into Mercury, because Mercury needs a carbon supply to feed its population. Yeah, okay, so I've got a decent amount of carbon here on the moon, so I can expand carbon production and then convert that into more polymers. I'm willing to sextuple the carbon, or the extraction on the moon. So that means I can build another 20 carbon mines. Mars arrived at Titan orbit, okay. And these guys arrived. I think it was bringing the exotics up, so we'll send it back to Mercury. Also brought some alloys up. Ready for those guys to get back from Jupiter. Patroclus. So Patroclus. Time. I think I would have Patroclus. Yeah, I'm going to do the Mercury go. Depending upon the launch... Actually, let's check which is faster, Earth or Patroclus. So, Patroclus to Earth orbit is 2 years, 5 months. If instead I go to Mercury, 6 months, 27 days. We're going Mercury. Okay, that's the polymers arriving. It's me 1, 2 more under construction. I need 3 more to have all the hab segments. Drive assembly, again, drive assembly is being held up by the exotic alloys. Suppose I might be able to turn the construction of those up, right? That's the rate we're going through our stockpile of rares. Yeah, we're not going through that too terribly fast. Could probably double the exotic alloy production. Not be too paranoid about cringe. We've got a bit of a queue right now, so let me finish doing the polymers before we jump to that. The other option is to expand production on Mercury. Might make sense to expand production on Mercury so we're actually making a ton on Mercury. Yeah, let's expand production on Mercury so we're making a ton on Mercury. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We want another master generator. So we're still trying to get that radiation under control, although it's getting real close. 4.7 means we just need 7 more. So with that one, we just queued up 6 more. 8 more, because the ground-based one is a 6 instead of a 7. Sorry. Still need 7 more, I suppose. Because just that one's not included in the 7. Okay, so we'll get those underway. We might have to revisit fissile and rare metal extraction, but we have so many people on Mercury because of the wild population growth that is not the concern of having workforce or power or anything. Yeah, looking at the time, I think we're due for another part break. The Earth interstellar ship construction is coming along. Again, the things holding up is the exotic alloys and the polymers. We're working to expand polymer production on the moon, working to expand exotic alloy production on Mercury. I can probably expand it on the moon as well. And I suppose we're going to very rapidly go from that was the problem to that is not the problem anymore. Because what, we need 1 more of those. So expanding the production is really just to get the last 10k. And that one's done. We need 3 more of those. And okay, it's a little bit the alloy and a little bit the polymer. But we're even not that far off the polymer for one of those 3. So it's only like another 10k polymer. And then we're in the prepare the habitats, which That's real easy. I think the hardest thing is going to be, like, off of bodies. Yeah, like, we have that on the moon. I have that on Mars. Oh, I actually don't have it on ground on Mars. Do I have it in orbit Mars? No, I didn't take it off of the ground. So the next task, next one coming in, the Mercury one. Patroclus has carbon. Make sure to unload that carbon to the unloading site, interstellar ship construction site. Preparation for that thing. I think we're gonna put a part break in here. Prepare the habitats again is also, yeah, that's a lot up front, but that's one build. So I think we're making good progress. We've got 75 years left to get this ready to launch. So this is why I'm kind of rushing here and focusing this instead of Mars terraforming. Is Mars terraforming, we have 275 years to do to get the achievement. This I've got 75, so this has to be a little bit more of a high priority. Plus some of the things we're tuning up to do this, like the alloys and the polymers, we can ship that off to the gas giants to make more hydrogen, or make more nitrogen, which is probably what we'll do the moment this gets launched, is that we'll all redirect to, we're making nitrogen as fast as possible, probably making oxygen as fast as possible. We might try to redirect some processing to splitting water. In fact, it might be a bit proactive at dropping water on Mars, even understanding that it will be frozen, so that we can slurp up the frozen ice to split into hydrogen and oxygen. Not because I need the hydrogen, but because I need the oxygen. But yeah, this is where we're putting the part break in. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We are going to record one more part tonight before we bring the stream to close. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.